All right guys, on today's episode of Oli Paints, we're gonna do another spray gun review and demonstration. This is my very first time using these, but we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna spray the A60 from Avalon. All right, and like I said, this is my very first time spraying with these. I got the HTE UMP, so basically HTE and the UMP. HTE is like a high transfer efficiency, similar to something like an RP. The UMP would be like low volume, medium pressure. So not quite low volume, low pressure, but somewhere in that vicinity. Let's get these out of the box. I'll show you what these look like. I gotta mask this job up and then we'll just get in here and spray with these. I'm gonna make this just as sweet and short and to the point as I possibly can. Okay, so like I said, this one is the UTE or HTE is what it says on the gun handle itself. Okay, so this is the purple one. I don't know. This camera has a hard time focusing in close, but this has a U-shaped nozzle, so it's got these little cutouts on here. Apparently that's a patent pending technology. It looks very similar to something like the Iwata tulip nozzle, and I'm pretty sure this is the same company that made the A50 Beyond Nova. I don't see that gun being sold anymore, but so that's that one. I'm gonna use that one for probably sealer and clear coat. And then I'm gonna use this UMP, this one, the blue one, for base coat. I got a 1.4 since I do spray waterborne, it's a little bit thicker. And yeah, again, this one has that U-shaped nozzle. It's kind of interesting looking. I will say right out of the box, like these are very comfortable spray guns. The finish is really, really nice on them too, and they were nice enough to put Oli paints on there. This gun is made in Taiwan. It does, like these particular ones did come directly from Taiwan. And there are places in the United States that you can order these. So at the end of this video, if you decide that maybe you want to try one for yourself, but these are like sub $300 if I do remember right. I'll put the price right here. So they're kind of in like that medium price range in terms of like overall build quality to start with. I mean, they're built nice. These feel really nice. I guess we'll just see how they spray. I'm gonna go ahead and get this job taped up, chuck you guys on the helmet, and we'll just get right into it. I'm not sure what the thread size is. It kind of looks like S9, like the Porpoise, but this is priced right in that Porpoise wheelhouse. So if they spray as nice as those do, I'll be impressed. Yeah, anyway, I'm done talking. These are the guns. Let's go ahead and spray them. You know, I didn't even think about it, but I should show what comes in the box. There's your manual. Your spray gun comes on the top, and inside the box you get a cup. Pretty decent looking regulator, if I'm being honest. I will use that. And then you get a PPS 1.0 adapter. So that's pretty cool. It comes with an adapter right out of the box. I do have Segola DPC cups that I might use if I can't find an adapter. And then I do believe in here it's just cleaning tools. So there should be a brush and a gun wrench, yeah. And then it does come with, appears to be a couple extra seals in there. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked that, you know, and gun lube. It does come with gun lube. I'm pretty stoked that these do come with a cup, because a lot of new spray guns nowadays are just coming uncupped and with just a disposable adapter or nothing at all, just the bare gun. So that's kind of nice that you get a cup with it. So anyway, let me load these up with paint. We're gonna get in here and I'll show you the job actually that we're gonna spray. This is kind of a pretty sad Jetta, but fender repair. This is just straight black, so we're not blending any which way. New hood, new front bumper. So let me get some sealer mixed up. We'll get in here, get some paint flowing out of these puppies. Okay, so before I even spray sealer on anything, I, of course, I'm gonna run a tack rag in the static gun, get everything blown off, all the dust Free move. You guys already know the drill. You've probably seen this a million times. And every little bit helps when it comes to being in the booth. So let's figure this out. The nice thing about this, it comes with this gauge, and it's like a weird kind of, not quite a swivel fitting, but it's like a ball fitting, and it's actually a high flow, so that's cool. We're gonna shoot this just below 2 bar, I think, is where I'm gonna go. I got full fan, full fluid at the moment. That's pretty legit. That's a nice even pattern, so let's see how this goes. I'm gonna just go ahead and tip this up out of the way, do this bumper first. Coat a sealer on here. See how this Avalon goes. It's a very soft spraying gun. Kind of reminds me, what does that remind me of? It kind of feels like the 717. That 4-fish. And again, I'm just under 2 bar, about 28 PSI. And the reason I grabbed the HTE for sealer is anytime I spray sealer, I want to use like a gun that's more designed for clear coat, right? Like I want something that's going to lay it as smooth as possible. Because every paint job, like if you're sealing stuff, that sealer better be smooth. Smooth, as nice as you can make it. Because man, that's your foundation. If there's a whole bunch of texture in that sealer, your clear is just gonna sink right into that texture. And that is an aftermarket bumper, so there's going to be slight texture in that. But that hood should be a good example of what this is going to look like. I mean, so far, like overall first impressions, this handle's really nice. It's a very comfortable handle, that's for sure. Complaints yet, but I mean, I haven't really sprayed anything. Let's do the top side of this and see what happens. And I mean, the 28 PSI is kind of, I could probably go up, but we're just gonna see what that leads us to, you know. It's not my set pressure, it's just my starting point. So far, that's pretty nice. And I know, oh, it's another gun. It's one of those things, man, like I get sent these and I have people all the time that will see a new spray gun and ask if I can make a review on it. Well, I don't have every single spray gun, so I can only do so much. I mean, so far, this thing's spraying really nice. This does have that like U-shaped nozzle, so it is like a split tip nozzle. Might as well just seal the whole damn thing because there ain't no point. We're already paneling. I mean, spray sealer really nice. I don't have any. This bumper, I mean, it's aftermarket, so it's got some texture in it, but the hood looks really nice. I'm gonna let this stuff sit, go through a flashlight, I'll go clean this out. I'm also gonna use this one for clear coat as well, so I'm gonna deep clean this one. I'll probably pull the nozzle out, spray it out really good. I'll go mix up our black base and we'll get in here and we'll try that blue one for base coat. But, I mean, so far so good. I really do like this gauge. Gauge works well. We'll see how it ages, but I think it's cool that it comes with that. It also comes with the fitting already pre-installed, and it's the same high flow fitting I already have in the booth, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, let me go mix base coat up. I'll check the other one in here and we'll see how that goes. All right, so we've got the UMP now. I should mention this takes an S9 adapter if you're using these cups or 3M at all. S9, it's the same adapter as a Porpoise and a Wacom. Same thing. It's probably like, I don't know, 25 PSI? God damn, this one has a big, see, that's the original, that's the HTE. Ah, never mind, I lied. It's about the same. Yeah, about the same. Okay. That doesn't feel a whole lot different, just checking the pattern. Go ahead and run static gun over this. I am spraying Ultra 9K water, if you are not familiar with the channel. With solid colors, especially black, I do individual coats. I usually spray everything wet on wet, but because this is black, I'm not going to. I'm spraying at 25 PSI. We're gonna do the bumper first. But I'll just do a coat, let it dehydrate, the coat. Should only take 2 coats and we'll be covered. This is also a 1.4. The last gun was a 1.3. I got the 1.4 because, you know, waterborne is pretty thick stuff. And I figured that would probably be a better fit. And I know this isn't like a really great color to try these out on. A difficult silver would be better, but this is just what I have. And this is the very first time I'm using them, so you know, I figured I would do like a first impressions video, and then we'll do a metallic silver one too. We'll just see how it does with that. And if you're unfamiliar with the page, my go-to base coat guns are BB1 1.4. That's another reason why I went with a 1.4 here. So I figured, you know, I'll just stick with what I like. I did get a 1.4 nozzle set for that HTE as well. So if I decide I want to speed it up a little bit, I can. I mean, overall, dude, this thing's spraying pretty good. The only negative, like the trigger pull, like this thing, it's a smooth trigger pull, but it's definitely, it's built to that price point, you know. Don't let that discourage you. It just, it's a sub $300 desk, so there are gonna be little nuanced things that will feel different. But overall, how this thing's pretty paint is pretty solid so far. And I also kind of like spraying black as like the first job of the gun because you really see how smooth something lays out when you spray black. Alright, that's all I need on the underside. It's just a single. Make sure that my hose at my back doesn't mess up this bumper. These edges here. I like the fan pattern. It's got a decent size to it. It's not overly massive, but it seems like it's pretty dang even. So I don't know if you guys can tell on video, but I mean that's a pretty even fan. Makes it pretty easy to keep a tight overlap. So when I'm doing these kind of spray gun reviews or trying something for the first time, the big things that I look for really is like how even the fan pattern is, and if it breaks up, because that's like a telltale sign of something that's not going to be fun to spray metallic with. So if you look at the pattern, it's pretty even top to bottom. Yeah, it's really nice and even, so I think for metallic this is actually going to work out well. And I did see my buddy Josh using these, and piqued my interest. He really seems to like them, so figure, you know what, I'll try them. Sprays base coat next. It's no different than, you know, my DB1. It's reminding me a lot of that DB1. Who knows if it has the metallic control, but all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and blow some air over this stuff. I'll get it to dehydrate, get my second coat on. And yeah, so far that UMP, I like it for base. This fender is just haggard, man. This poor car has been hailed on. It's got 200,000 miles. I mean, it's kind of been through the ringer, so this job is not perfect, but that's okay. All right, I'm hoping I got enough base coat in here. I think I'm gonna bump the pressure up just a tiny bit. All right, I'm gonna spray it about 27. I just feel like I'm just gonna smooth it out a little bit more. Overall first impressions, I was spraying base. This thing, it's pretty nice actually. Yeah, a little bit of pressure increase. I was spraying at 25. Now I'm anywhere from, you know, 27, 28. Yeah, I like this better. It just seems to lay this base a little bit smoother. I do feel like a lot of this paint is actually landing on the panel, so as far as transfer efficiency goes, I feel like we don't have a big old cloud of base coat. Alright, now I will mention, I was looking at the specs of these guns, and this UMP, being like a low volume medium pressure, it's supposed to operate on 9 CFM, so a smaller air compressor for, you know, single panel use or something like that would suffice. Oh, I might be running out of base. Come on, man, get through it. I might need to mix a little bit more. Got some, but we're getting down there. Yeah, this thing should be pretty low air consumption, so it's not a true LVLP. Come on, guy, get there. All right, that's covered. I'm gonna have to go mix up a little bit more base. But at the end, I'll look it up before I conclude this video, and we'll check out like the actual specs and the air requirements for these. Just so you guys that are DIY at home understand what you can do with this and what you can't. So let me go mix up a little bit more base. I need like 2 ounces to do the rest of this fender, and then we'll kind of have a look at all this base coat, see how it's laying down, and yeah, then we'll look at the specs, and then we'll clear this stuff. Alright, I mixed up like 3 ounces more. Just because if I got any spots I missed, I can touch them up, but let's go ahead. Like 28 PSI. Get our last coat on here. I will say in terms of speed, this does remind me of DB1. It might be a little bit faster. Just a little bit. I always look at a DB1 kind of as the gold standard for spraying base coat, but that's all the base coat sprayed. Let me get you guys off the helmet. We'll go over the specs of these 2 guns. Okay, so I pulled up the data table, and this is for the HE, so the purple version of this. With the 1.3 that we have, at 2 bar of inlet pressure, you're looking at 12 CFM. So a 60 gallon, 220 volt air compressor, if you have a pretty decent air compressor, you're gonna be just fine with that. Let's look up hold on, for this one, the UTE or the UMP goes as follows. At 2 bar, 29 PSI with that 1.4, you're looking at 12 CFM. Yeah, so this is going to work on a small air compressor. For a single panel, you'll be fine. You are going to starve that thing of air rather quickly, so you might have to stop, let your air compressor back, like get back up, and then continue on. But for single panels, I think you could get away with this. This is still really designed to work with a big air compressor. If you have a screw type air compressor, you'll be fine. But yeah, that U-shaped nozzle works well. I mean, it's a really nice fan pattern like I showed you guys. For base coat, I would compare this. The speed of it feels more like Technopro Light. Obviously, I don't know what it's going to spray metallics like, and I promise I will make an update video how it works for metallics. I'll also try it for solvent base coat, and we'll just see, you know, what it does. But it's interesting. It's a very comfortable gun handle. I'll give it that. I do like the build quality of it. Very, very, very simple. Very clean. They do give you numbers on all of the knobs, so it's easy. If you rotate it, you can count how many times you rotated it. This does have an air adjustment valve, which some guns have it, some guns don't. A lot of the ones that come from like China, Japan, Taiwan, things like that will have this. Which this is nice. Say you run a regulator on the wall, you can dial it in on here. But yeah, I mean, overall for what you're getting in the box, I think it's pretty solid. I do actually really like this gauge. That swivel at the bottom, you don't really notice it in use, but I'm glad that this thing doesn't just spin. You guys know I don't like the swivel fittings on the bottom of guns, and I'm glad to see that this doesn't have that. It just provides just that little bit of flexibility. It's not, you probably won't even notice it, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, now that we've looked at the specs, I'm gonna go ahead and go mix up clear coat. All the base coat is just about dry. Chuck it in that HTE. We'll see how that goes. It's black, so we're gonna be able to tell pretty quick if it sprays clear nice and if we like it or not. So let's do that. All right, so here's another thing that I like the manufacturers do that's kind of standard practice, you know, to make a traditional gun wrench just work, which it does. Let's take a look at this thing without the nozzle in it. Oh, that comes apart. Okay, so you do get extra seals, these ones right here, these white ones. But ease of cleaning, that all comes apart. It's just the air distribution ring right there. There's your nozzle. I just rinsed this out and it's actually pretty clean, so it rinses out nice. I don't know if you guys are even gonna be able to tell that this is a U-shaped nozzle, but it's got little U-shaped grooves cut in it. And that's what their big thing is. Oh, it's a U-shaped nozzle, so. Okay, let's get this back on here. It's got a little locator hole at the top. Is it at the top or is it at the bottom? Oh, it's at the bottom. Okay, so it goes in like that. It's a little finicky. Overall, that was pretty easy to clean, and I did clean waterborne cleaner out of it. And this is straight water. And I do like that you can use a standard gun wrench, so that's cool. I'm gonna check this in the solvent tank. Let it do its thing. This purple one out, make sure she's good and cleaned up for clear coat. Clean up nice. I would like to stick a little air in the bottom and blow them out. Don't trip, this does have an exhaust fan. Alright, I'll mix up some clear coat and we'll get this thing loaded up. Alright, all of our base coat is now dry. I've got the HTE loaded up with clear coat. As I said before, I am going to run the static gun over everything just to, you know, this is the last time I'm going to do this. We are ready to clear. Alright, so for clear coat, judging off what Sealer did, I think I'm going to go just over 2 bars, so like 2.1 bars. Yeah, feels pretty good. See what the pattern looks like. I might have to go down. That looks pretty even. Yeah, let's start with that. 2.1 bar. 31 to 32 PSI. See how this goes. Yeah, I'm gonna start with this bumper. I will say that, like, the comfort of this gun is there, dude. It's a really lightweight spray gun. It kind of reminds me of using the Meiji. Like they're both about the same. Maybe we'll weigh these at the end and just compare them to other guns. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll weigh them and just see how they stack up. The DB1 is certainly heavier than this. I mean, I have no complaints with that. This thing, I am spraying CC250 clear coat, and this has a US 4 reducer, so it's not a super slow reducer. It's a warm temp, and I like to use this reducer because I can bake this, you know, for 20 minutes and give it back to the tech if he's careful. If he's uncareful, I'll bake it for 40 minutes and I can literally polish on it after that. So only gonna do a single underneath here, and I'm not even gonna like worry about it being glossy. I just want to protect my base coat. This has a big old hood blanket on it anyway. So get some clear shot here. Okay. Now here's like the test, right? Spraying a black hood. We'll see what the finish looks like. I do feel like this thing breaks up this clear really, really well. Let's see. It's not slow, that's for dang sure. Yeah, you can actually get moving, and this is a 1.3. Anyway, this is not a slow gun. I'm pretty, and I like to get in and go close and fast, so far so good, dude. Yeah, that looks really, really, really nice. Huh. I always love when I get, you know, surprised by a cheaper spray gun. And I made a video a while ago talking about how it's really hard to find a bad one these days. I mean, now even the cheap spray guns spray nice. Like that looks phenomenal, dude. Yeah. I can't fault that at all. This bumper, I mean aftermarket, so there's gonna be a little bit of peel on it, but that hood looks great. This fender looks great. All right, let me get a second coat shot on here. We'll get you in close so you guys can check it out. I can't fault that at all. So far, I'm pretty impressed. What did we use? 12 ounces. I'm even impressed with that. That worked out really well. So let me mix up just a few more ounces of clear, get this job wrapped up, and yeah, I'll show you the final product when I'm done. I got a little piece of hair right there though. Dang it. A little fine hair, whatever. We'll nib and polish that out. Yeah, these Avalons don't mess around, dude. That's nice. It's not like the most expensive gun. The trigger pull is a little bit on the cheap side, and like overall, like the gun handle itself feels good though. I'll say that this feels nicer than a Black Widow. It's way faster than a Black Widow. That's for dang sure. Yeah. I dig that, dude. That's pretty nice. Let me get a second coat shot on this. All right, so that's 2 coats of clear on this stuff. Let's take a look at it. It looks pretty good. All right, so this is the hood. Let me get you guys extended out here. This is the hood. It's really, really nice. Really, really nice. And you got the bumper, nice and slick as well. Trying to dance around this hood. And the fender came out super glossy. Yes, there are hail dents and all kinds of stuff in this fender, but in terms of finish, that looks really nice. Now, let's talk about pros and cons with this thing. Cons, would be, you know, anytime you buy a gun like this, yes, you save some money. Rebuild kits, I don't know if they're available. I would assume so. Avalon would probably say yes, you can get rebuild kits. They do include those extra seals in the box. How long are they going to last? I don't know, but a couple of buddies of mine use these regularly and have for over a year now, so that looks hopeful. But overall, like the finish of it, dude, like I have no complaints. There's no negatives really that I can say. This is faster than a DV1 Clear. I would say that this is pretty damn similar to what I get off of that gun. And honestly, it's like twice as fast. Like it's not a little bit faster, it's like twice as fast. I think these are actually pretty damn nice. And I know there will be comments that guys, oh, you always say every gun is nice. It's one of those things that it's really hard to find a bad spray gun nowadays. Like, you could get away spraying your Purple Harbor Freight if you really wanted to and really dialed it in. Longevity is really where like the price comes in, because my DV1s, I've had the original one since it came out and I've never rebuilt it. It still works great. So that's where like you really pay to play, is how long are you really expecting to have this gun in service for and how often are you using it? These though, they're a pretty damn simple gun, so I don't see this breaking down. And if it does, say like it starts spraying funny, I'll make an update video and we'll do an update, say in a year from now. I'll mark it on my calendar. Once this video uploads, I will mark it on my calendar. We'll do a 1-year update, see how the gun's holding up. But yeah, overall though, I really enjoyed that. I thought it sprayed great. I'll leave links to the store and stuff that you can get these spray guns at if you guys are interested in looking at that. But yeah, I like trying out new spray guns, man. And this one was honestly pretty easy to set up. Full fan, full fluid, just under 2 bar pressure for base coat and sealer, and then just over, so like 32 PSI is what I really liked for clear. Super easy to set up. Some guns are just finicky to set up, and this is definitely not one of them. You can leave it wide open and rock it, so that's really nice. If you have any questions or want to know more about these things, hit me up in the comments, man. I'll make another video once I have like a really coarse silver, and we'll see how it sprays that. Then I can really dial it in, spraying it wet on wet. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And again, links to everything you guys can find down in the description of this. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.